So when we last left the Atari 2600, I had some issues with the video output. Sound was fine, but I was getting black and white video only. Now, my absent-mindedness forgot that there is a black and white switch and a color switch. Not completely my fault. I mean, the bezel was removed, and it was ever so slightly down in the black and white position. Not completely, but enough that I guess it triggered black and white. So first of all, I went and put some contact cleaner in to clean everything up and make sure it's working correctly. But of course, once I flipped it into the color position, I got color on screen. It wasn't great. I did have to adjust the pot, but I was able to tweak it to just about right. However, there was some weird scrolling bar that was changing the colors as it scrolled up. Now, this wasn't because of the difference in refresh rate on the TV versus the refresh rate of the camera, or the speed of the camera. So, because I can see it with my eyes, so I don't know what's causing that. It could be because of some interference, because I just have the jacks like this. They're not done properly. It could be the cabling. It could be a few other things. Again, this is a slightly different revision board than the instructions were made for. So it's possible that removing the transistor and the resistor is affecting it. However, I did read up, and this inductor is not necessarily needed either, so I may remove that as well. Fortunately, it's just these two solder points, and we'll go from there. But the other thing that I realized, and maybe it'll be better, is I completely forgot that I have jumper wires of varying colors, as well as header pins that I went and broke off already. So I may go and solder these on in the place of the Cat 5 cabling. It's not like it's going to be that much of a different gauge. I think it's maybe a slightly higher gauge, but having these pins will make it easier to connect everything. I don't think I'm going to put them on the mod itself, but I will put them here. And I got to try to figure out something for the audio. Maybe I'll bend it and have it that way. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and desolder all these cables and go from there. And then the other thing I'm going to do is, instead of drilling into the case, what I'm going to do is basically make like a pigtail that comes out of the old RF cable hole, as you see here. And they'll just be hanging out, and I'll be able to then plug in AV cables at will. I'll use some heat shrink tube, and we'll go that route. That way I don't have to destroy the case itself. I know some of you are like, well, you already broke these pins off, so who cares? Well, again, because I have these headers, I can just replace what's on here with these, and if I ever wanted to restore it to as close to factory as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and unsolder everything. I don't think I'll record it, we'll see. But I'll desolder all the cables, put some new ones on with the jumpers and the pin headers, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm a little further. I'm still not quite done yet, but I've made more progress. So I went ahead and soldered on these headers, and then just connected everything with these jumper wires, because it'll be a lot cleaner, a lot easier to remove and disconnect. And I even went and put in a header right where the original header used to be that connected the RF modulator to the video and ground and the 5 volts. So I just went and put a header and bent it 90 degrees and connected these wires here, and I put a single header on the audio point, one of the audio points. You can actually pull audio from different places, but this is what a lot of instructions say to go for, so fine, whatever. Otherwise, I also went ahead and removed the inductor. It's supposed to improve video quality, so everything's set to go. Oh, and as a side thing, I also went and created another 90-degree header pin, so that in the event I ever want to reconnect the RF modulator, I just have to solder this in, to here, the other end here, and it'll be good to go. Ignore this janky cable. I thought it was going to turn out better than it did. I'm just going to probably get a 3-pin TRS jack, a little 3.5 millimeter jack, and wire the mod up to that. I'll have that jack sticking out on the back of the case here instead of a pigtail, and then I'll just use a 3.5 millimeter to AV cable, which you can get anywhere. And in fact, I've got one upstairs for a Raspberry Pi project that I started years ago and never finished, and as well as from an old camcorder. So, but I want to turn this all on, and it's I got color working because I remembered the black and white switch, but even the pot was turned all the way up, and I was only getting black and white out of there as well too. So I'm getting color, but I'm still getting this rolling bar, and I don't know if it's because of the mod, if there's still some additional components I need to remove, like another resistor, because some of these kits have you removing additional resistors. This particular composite mod has 3 resistors on there, as well as a transistor, which other mods only have 2, or they don't have the transistor. So it looks like whatever issues came about from this were already taken into consideration. But I'm still getting weird color, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean. So I picked Pac-Man because I'm relatively familiar with the color scheme that it should be, and this is close. This camera's probably not capturing it very well, but there's this rolling bar. You can vaguely see it in the actual. Let me tweak the colors and you'll see it more. You can see how it's kind of like this darker shade of purple against the rest of the colors. And yeah, this isn't the correct color scheme for this game. I just wanted to adjust it to make it more obvious. I mean, the more correct colors are here, but again, there's this weird color bar that's like scrolling up, and I don't know what's causing that. I was hoping that removing the inductor would fix it. It didn't. I was hoping that maybe redoing some of the ground would do it. It hasn't helped any, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on. If anyone's got any ideas, let me know. I can't find any issues about it. I may try removing some additional resistors just to see what happens. Maybe a capacitor, because there were a couple instructions out there that said to remove some capacitors. So I don't know. Now, interestingly enough, I don't see it in black and white mode. So it's only affected by the color. If I turn this pot all the way, I can get a different black and white, and there's no bar there. If I start adding color, that's when it happens. You can really see it now. If I go all the way, adjust the pot all the way to the left, it's almost invisible. So I'll be doing some more digging around, and we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm going to cut this video short. Sorry it's not a little longer. I've had a little bit of a busy week and some hectic schedule with work and with other personal matters, so I didn't have a whole lot of time to attend to this. It's possible maybe just some capacitors need to be replaced. They are, old. They're not leaking, but they're old, so we'll give that a shot maybe. We'll see. But if you liked today's video, thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you didn't like the video, hit the thumbs down. But please leave a comment in the description. Please leave a comment below. Sorry, I'm still a little scatterbrained from work. Please leave a comment below as to why, so I can try to make improvements in future videos. Thanks all, and I'll catch you later.